Good afternoon po. Afternoon. Welcome po sa DPWH Sorsogon 2nd. Barangay Payawin Bubat, Sorsogon. Today is April 22, 2026. Scheduled for today's pre-bid conference is for the contract 26 FL008 001 ensure safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, preventive maintenance, tertiary roads, Irosin, Roque, Bulusan, Lake Road, Irosin, Sorsogon. Present here today for today's pre-bid conference are the following: Joanna C. Calagos, Back Chairman; Levi D. Pura Jr., Back Vice Chairman; Cecil L. Lucille, Back Member; Jessalu R. Almia, Back Member; Glenn L. Edicio, Back Secretariat; Dave Twin B. Anulia, TWG, present po; Grace E. Perez for Planning Section; Christian E. Austria, IT. Madam Chair, for today's pre-bid conference, meron na po tayong quorum and wala pong present na contractor here today.
Gracious, we have a quorum. This pre-bid conference is not called to order. The agenda for this pre-bid meeting are as follows. First, basic contract data, requirements and bidding documents, eligibility criteria, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals, criteria and procedures for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award, summary of proceedings including bid bulletins, supplemental to be issued, questions, comments from the bidders, and replies of the back and other representatives of the procuring entity, and other matters. To discuss the basic contract data is Engineer Grace Perez.
For basic contract data with contract ID 26FL0008 with contract name 001 ensure safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, preventive maintenance, tertiary roads, Irosin, Roque, Bulusan, Lake Road, kilometer 630 to kilometer 63141. Contract location is Irosin, Sorsogon. Approved budget for the contract is 3,598,560 pesos. Source of fund is FY 2026. Contract duration is 35 calendar days. Predetermined and workable number of days is 12 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 5,000 pesos. Submission of bids is scheduled on May 5, 2026 until 10 a.m. Opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work is RMU. Project description, scope of works. This project covers preventive maintenance work such as application of top coat, laying, spreading, and compaction of hot mix asphalt overlay of 50 mm thickness, removal of and replacement of Portland cement concrete pavement, and repainting of pavement markings. It also includes installation of streetlights in specified road segment. Objective is to rehabilitate the Irosin, Roque, Bulusan, Lake Road to ensure safer and more efficient and sustainable transportation. Here's the geotag photos taken during the site validation. As for the environmental clearance, it is currently on process. The road right-of-way certification states that there is no road right-of-way problem. And the certifications, which includes that the project complies with the CMPD from second quarter, 2025 CMPD second quarter, and also the equipment rental rates. For detailed engineering design plan, here's the project's location map as well as the vicinity map, the project's straight line diagram, and the project's typical cross sections, and other details of the project. Requirements of bidding documents, instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid data sheet, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms. Here's the project's bid data sheet. And the special conditions of contract. Next is the project's bill of quantities. For minimum manpower requirement, for project manager must have handled infrastructure projects, project engineer must have handled similar projects, materials engineer must be DPWH accredited materials engineer, general construction foreman must have handled similar projects, safety and health officer must have undergone 40 hours basic construction safety and health training. For minimum equipment requirement, asphalt distributor 1 unit, power broom 1 unit, asphalt paver 1 unit, pneumatic tire roller 1 unit, tandem steel roller 1 unit, water truck or pump 1 unit, cargo or service truck 1 unit, applicator machine 1 unit, kneading machine 1 unit, truck mounted crane 1 unit, dump truck all models 1 unit, backhoe 1 unit, low bed trailer truck 1 unit, motorized road grader 1 unit, payloader 1 unit.
Key points po, the lowest calculated responsibility will be used as a criteria for award. The amount of advance payment is 15% of the total contract price to be made in lump sum. All progress payments should first be charged against the advance payment until the latter has been fully exhausted at the option of the procuring entity. The contractor shall submit the program of work to the procuring entity within 10 days of delivery from the notice of award. Sinusunod po natin ang two envelope system where the first envelope contains the eligibility and technical envelope technical requirements, and the second envelope po contains the financial proposals. Bid validity po natin is 120 calendar days. Sealing and marking of bids for original po. Original technical enclosed po is sila sa isang envelope. Yung original financial naman po enclosed din po sa isang envelope. Both envelopes shall then be closed in a single envelope marked original bid. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contract to bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient bank, procuring entity, and the markings do not open before the date and time of opening of bids. For copy 1 po, ganun din po, copy 1 technical, copy 2, copy 1 financial, lahat po enclosed in a single envelope. Each copy 1 bid, each envelope shall contain the name of the contract to bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient bank, and the procuring entity, and the markings do not open before the date and time of the opening of bids. Lahat po yan, yung original bid and yung copy 1 bid shall then be enclosed in one mother envelope. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contract to bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient bank, procuring entity, and the markings do not open before the date and time of the opening of bids. Unsealed and unmarked bids shall not be accepted. Not compressed and password protected shall not be accepted. Improperly sealed and marked bids shall be accepted, provided the contractor acknowledges the condition of the bid as received. Improperly compressed and password protected bids shall be accepted. Submission and receipt of bids. For bid modification shall be submitted before the deadline of submission of bids. The bidder shall not be allowed to retrieve its original bid. However, it shall submit new bid equally sealed, properly identified, linked to its original bid, and marked as a modification. For letter withdrawals must be received prior to the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. For bids withdrawn within the interval between the deadline and the expiration of the bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. For electronic submission of bid, bidder shall send another bid equally secured, properly identified, and labeled as a modification of the one previously submitted. The latest time indicated in the latest bid receipt page generated shall be the official time of submission. Meron po tayong two modes of submission of bids. Yan po ay through manual submission of bid and electronic submission of bid. Ang bidder may opt only one mode lang po sa pag-submit ng bid. For manual submission of bid, yan po ay sa Back Secretariat Office, DPWH Sorsogon, 2nd GEO, Barangay Payawin, Bulusan, Sorsogon. For electronic submission of bids naman po, yan po ay sa electronic bids _Sorsogon 2 at dpwh.gov.ph. For eligibility criteria, the following persons or entities shall be allowed to participate in the bidding of infrastructure projects. 1. Duly licensed Filipino citizens for sole proprietorship. Partnerships duly organized under the laws of the Philippines and of which at least 60% of the interest belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Corporations duly organized under the laws of the Philippines and of which at least 60% of the outstanding capital stock belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Cooperatives duly organized under the laws of the Philippines or persons, entities forming themselves into a joint venture as per section 52.4.2.1 of the IRR of RA 12009. Foreign bidders may be eligible to participate in the procurement of infrastructure projects when provided for under any treaty, international, or executive agreement as provided in Section 4 of the IRR of RA 12009. Bidders must have a valid pickup license, must have a single largest completed contract that is similar to the contract to be bid of at least 50% of the ABC. The SLCC shall be supported by the owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES or similar performance and monitoring system. Contractors under small A and small B categories without similar experience, provided that the cost of the contract to bid is not more than the ARCC of their registration. Bidders must have an NFCC at least equal to the ABC. Eligibility and technical documents to be submitted by the bidders. Contractors, applicants who wish to participate in this bidding must be the document request list DRL of the PhilJEP's website and secure a print-out copy showing that they are included in the list and are encouraged to enroll in DPWH Civil Works application CWA at the Bonifacio Drive, DPWH Procurement Services, 5th floor, DPWH Building, Port Area, Manila. The contractor's eligibility to bid on the project will be determined using the DPWH contractor profile, eligibility process, CPEP, and subject for further post-qualification. We encourage our bidders po to enroll in the civil work application to facilitate the fast evaluation of their bids. If registered na po sila, ito po ang kailangan lang submit. Pick-up license and registration in case of joint venture, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder's single largest completed contract, computation of the NFCC, valid joint venture agreement if applicable. If not yet registered naman po sa ating CWA, ito po ang mga documents na kailangan submit. PhilJEP Certificate of Registration, Platinum Membership, Pickup License and Registration in case of joint venture, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder's single largest completed contract that is similar to the contract to bid, computation of the NFCC, valid joint venture agreement if applicable. For technical documents naman po, mandatory requirements, bid security in the form of cash or manager's check, bank draft, bank guarantee, 2% of the ABC. Bid security, callable upon demand, 5%. Or you can submit po yung bid securing declaration. Please be guided po ng ating RA 12009 sa standard format po ng ating bid securing declaration. Project requirements, organizational chart for the contract to bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units, owned, leased, or under purchased agreement. Latest General Information Sheet, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC for corporations. ISO 9001-2015 certification or its latest version as applicable as per Department Order 110 Series of 2024. Kailangan po din po mag-submit ng Omnibus Form Statement duly notarized. Please be guided po ulit ng ating RA 12009 sa format po ng ating Omnibus Form Statement. Any omissions po sa mga provision ng ating Omnibus Form Statement shall be grounds for disqualification. Statement of ongoing government and private contracts. The statement of the bidder of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity of the contract we bid, must be submitted. The statement shall include all the information required in the bidding documents. Yan po ang sample nating bid securing declaration ng ating Omnibus Sworn Statement. Please be guided na lang po. For second envelope, it shall contain the bid form, summary bid process, Bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimate including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of materials, labor, and equipment. Cash flow by quarter, month, and payment schedule, other documents required in the bidding documents. Please be guided po ulit ng ating panibagong Procurement Act sa format po na ating bid form. Any clauses po na mawala dyan po sa ating bid form shall be grounds for disqualification din po. For detailed evaluation of bids, ang purpose po dyan is determining the lowest calculated bid by establishing correct calculated prices of bids, ranking calculated total bid prices from lowest to highest. Ang method po natin is a non-discretionary criterion which shall be used, which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. In case of discrepancies between bid price in figures versus bid price in words, bid price in words shall prevail. Total price per item versus unit price for the item times the quantity. The unit price for the item times the quantity shall prevail. Stated total price versus the actual sum of prices of component items. The actual sum of prices of component items shall prevail. The unit cost of the detailed estimate versus the unit cost in the bill of quantities. The unit cost in the bill of quantities shall prevail. Reminders po sa ating bidder of the prohibition on communication with bidder from bid evaluation until the award of contract. O ating po, no contact with. For post-qualification, ang purpose po niyan is to determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents, to be declared as the lowest calculated and responsive bid. Ang method po is a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion shall be used to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents submitted by the lowest calculated bid. For post-qualification po, key personnel verification. If a key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the same time in the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that 1. The personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract. And 2. She will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. Also to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should specify in the submitted bid the location of the equipment where they can be inspected. If any piece of equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. Common reasons for bidders' disqualification. Letter A, late submission of bids without valid reason. Letter B, submission of patently insufficient bid. Submission of an expired field job certificate of registration. Failure to include certificate of employment, contract agreement among permanent personnel and staff of the firm, curriculum vitae. And 3, failure to submit the required bid form. Minsan pumalik, yung luma pa ang nasusubmit. Submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to non-inclusion or omission of mandatory provision and statements for the required bid forms. Submission of bid form, bid securing declaration, omnibus form statement, and joint venture agreement without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. Nomination of key personnel of a profession different from what is required by the bidding documents. Failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. Failure to comply with the minimum number of key personnel and equipment. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, or purchase agreement of pledged equipment. Insufficient NFCC, insufficient single largest completed contract. Thank you.
May mga questions pa po? Since we have no more